Hey guys, it's Hunter. Welcome back to another video, and today we are starting a brand new series. It's called NOSTAlgufish. Massive shout out to the Discord server for coming up with that one. If you want to join us over there, link will be in the description. It's really chill. The idea behind the series is simple. Basically, the way the channel works, I'm testing or reviewing a new guitar basically every week. I'll use that guitar as a daily driver for a bit to really get to know it before crafting the review. Now, I will admit, playing new guitars all the time is pretty awesome. That means, though, is that I rarely get a chance to actually play my own guitars very much. So, NOSTAlgufish, we're going to take a look at guitars I've previously reviewed, or guitars from my own collection that don't get as much playing time as I'd like. We're going to do some chugs, see how I feel about them, how they've held up, if my opinion's changed, and in this case, actually do some modding as well. So that's the basic premise, this being the first episode. It's kind of a work in progress, so if you have any suggestions, leave them down below. But hopefully you like it. Let's get into it. Today we're looking at this, my sOlAr G2.6 TBR, or more simply, the sOlAr SiNgLeCuT. And when this was released, it was crazy. There's a lot of audience overlap between my channel and Ola's. He's like one of the OG metal guitar gear demo guys. And when he launched sOlAr guitars, there was a very clear gap in the lineup. That gap being my favorite shape, the SiNgLeCuT. And so when it was finally announced, the comments absolutely exploded. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, it became such a meme. Even Algin, the project manager then at Epiphone, now Gibson, texted me, "Have you seen the sOlAr SiNgLeCuT?" So I reached out to Ola, he was great, he sent me this one, and it's like hands down the most evil looking guitar I have in my collection. It just looks so mean. Most of the time I prefer my guitars genre ambiguous, and this one is just straight up, unapologetic, "Do you listen to Slayer, bro?" metal. So even though it's still a SiNgLeCuT, it's quite a departure from the traditional Les Paul custom type that I'd normally have for myself. And picking it back up, it feels exactly how I remember. It feels so good, it plays so well. But yeah, let's plug it into the tri-amp and have a few chugs. For having not been played for over a year, it's a little dusty, but other than that, I mean, it's perfectly fine. Like, the action is still amazing. The neck heel is exactly as I remember it. Yeah, I mean, the action is still good. There's no fret buzz. None of the frets are popping out. This is as good as you could possibly hope for a guitar that hasn't been played or really cared for in about a year. I mean, obviously the strings are really, really old. They're not coated or anything. Georgia, we've got a lot of humidity. So, I mean, I was going to change them anyways, but, you know, apart from that, intonation still seems to be good. The knobs are really loose. I don't really remember if that was the case last time. But yeah, apart from needing new strings and a dust off, it's actually pretty incredible. Like, this hasn't been in a case or anything, it's just been on a stand even when the AC was broken and I don't use heat in the winter. So there you go. They're really stable guitars, and this is the 2 series, not the 1 series, so it doesn't even have the Evertune. But yeah, I mean, I just love this guitar. The neck joint is incredible. Even though I don't spend much time up here, it's just super comfortable. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're gonna take it to like Sunday worship service or anything like that. I'm having too much fun. I need to change these strings before I get tetanus. And while I'm doing that, the pickups, they're fine. I'm kind of looking for a different sound. I've been meaning to swap the pickups for a while because I really like the guitar, just wasn't sure what I wanted to put in here. And as I've been cleaning out my gear, putting stuff on reverb, I found these pickups hiding on a shelf. So this is the first iteration of Keith Merrow's signature Fluence set. Ken sent these over well over a year ago, like right when they were first released. My bad, dude. I just never figured out what I wanted to do with these. But yeah, never tried these before, but you guys know I'm huge into the Fluence stuff. This guitar needs pickups. These pickups need a guitar. It's like a combo of OG YouTuber gear. They've got the same black bobbin open core look, so the guitar will still look stock. It's like a sleeper upgrade, which is my favorite. It's kind of a perfect situation, so let's go ahead and wire these in now. So there we go. That is a disassembled sOlAr SiNgLeCuT. Again, these routes are like really nice. Like the scratching is like perfectly normal, but usually you'll see all sorts of like messiness around the edges. For an Indonesian made guitar, that is very clean. It kind of sucks that it's too clean, so you can't see like the swamp ash or anything in there. And if you're wondering, this foam padding, this is how they keep the direct mounted sOlARs up. And I will say I'm not a fan of direct mounted pickups for mod platforms. Reason being, there's just more stuff you need to take into account. The foam padding, wood screws, like I don't know if you can see that, but the mounting holes have to be drilled out for wood screws. So generally replacing these aren't as easy as if you're using pickup mounts. But with a little bit of elbow grease and your bootstraps high enough, there isn't anything that isn't possible. Now that the sOlARs are out, let's put in the Fishman. It's easier to see from this angle. The Fishman ones are a little bit lighter, but it should still look okay. And the guitar should still look stock. Like you can see in this lighting, it looks pretty much the same. All right, let's do this. See what I mean? So you could try to force that in, but you see how it's like already at an angle? Now, interestingly about these pickups, it looks like there's got a little bottom thing there that might be removable. So maybe if I use some pliers, or is that a terrible idea? All right, so I don't know if this is a terrible idea or not, but I did it anyways. I don't know if you're supposed to be able to remove these guys or not, but either way, now I don't need to drill out here. Like, if this is on purpose, this is genius. Getting the kill switch engaged pickups in the Chapman was a complete pain in the ass. It looks like you can just stick that back in there too, if you need to. But yeah, if this is on purpose, that's really forward thinking. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and give him credit for it. Well done, Fishman. Though, by how hard they are to get out though, I don't know if that's intentional. Oh well, warranty voided on camera. Awesome. Side note, I actually like how the underside of these Fishman Fluences are black instead of green. It makes them look less like computer chips and more metal, I guess. Okay, so I'm gonna want voice 1, voice 2, the single coil voice, and then a master tone. So I'm gonna use 2 push-pulls and then a regular one. Now, I will admit the instruction booklet isn't particularly helpful. 1, it's like, look how small everything is. Like, it's really difficult to see. And 2, it doesn't have very many pickup configurations. So the one that I want is not on here. Now, I've gotten some questions about this, like Hunter, I've gotten the Fishman Fluence Modern set or the Kill Switch Engage set. I want the full functionality, and I want to wire it up 2 volumes, 1 tones, and a toggle switch, but there's no instructions for it. No worries, I got you. Now, you could email Fishman support. I don't recommend it, though. They'll tell you that the pickups are recommended for professional installers only, which is a f***ing lie. I do it, so, like, don't worry, I got you. So what you're gonna want to do, Google Fishman technical support documents. You get to this page, and you're gonna want to scroll down here to Fishman Classic Open Core 2 volumes, 1 tone toggle. I know we're not doing Open Core Classics, but it's all the same. When you click that, and we get this. Oh, look at this beauty. Yeah, so this is what we want. It's bridge volume, neck volume, tone, and we're gonna get all 3 voices. Looks simple enough, right? That's what I tell myself every time before I screw something up. But I'm aiming for first try on this one. Let's go. Okay, now I do have to give solid props to sOlAr, and this is kind of like a weird one, but the routes for the cable paths are really wide. Like I can fit 4 of these braided wires from the switch through both cavities into the control cavity. Like usually I have to use really thin, generic looking black cabling. Like there are advantages to using the shielded braided wire. Not really for this project. I just think it looks better, so I use it when I can. And usually with import guitars, like Harley Bentons are particularly bad for this. The cable pathways are really narrow. It just makes my life easier, and you don't really see that on mod projects guitars. So yeah, props to sOlAr. I forgot how complicated this is. I mean, it's not so bad. There's just like a billion connections, so you have to like double check, triple check everything. It's just pretty time consuming, especially if you're garbage at soldering. Something else that I forgot about. I don't know how well you can see that, but the American shafts are bigger, lol. And because these holes are drilled for the import pots, it means that Fishman with their massive shafts don't fit. Oh, the joys of putting Fishman Fluence in an import direct mounted guitar. Pringle's bored of watching me fail. I'm sorry. I need a break. Grant me strength. I am reborn. I'm back. Let's finish the fight. Reference, Halo 3 coming holiday 2007. I'm ready. How about you? Oh my god, it looks like a bomb. Only this might have a better chance of exploding. Alright, if you want to learn proper wire management for wiring up a guitar, don't watch this video. If you want to make your guitar look like a bomb, I got you. That is literally one of the most sketch things. Don't look at it. Oh my god, I pray that this works. In hindsight, I guess I could have made some of the wires shorter. Well, now I'm either keeping this guitar forever, or I hope that the next person likes Fishman pickups, because these aren't coming out. Alright, let's plug in the pickups and see if it works. Let's just, see? Much better. Right, Pringle? It works! Praise the sun. Alright, so by some miracle, everything works. Don't question it. Don't look the miracle horse in the mouth. That was so stupid. I'm gonna shut up now. Zeros sound pretty good. Wow. So the first thing that I'm noticing is how tight these are. Like obviously through the Triumph it's pretty brutal, but it's also very precise and percussive. I'm kind of really loving voice 2 as well. It's thicker. Like this set in particular, you can really hear the difference between the two voices. Like the difference is really pronounced. Voice 3, I mean, that's the Fluence single coil sound. It's the same one that you get in the Classics and the KSE set. And if you're wondering, voice 3 overrides voice 2. So if you're already on voice 2 and you pull the tone pot, you're in voice 3, not a modified single coil voice. Yeah, I'm really liking these. Like, I spend most time on the bridge pickup, and voice 1 is just so tight even compared to the modern. That's how you play that, right? Actually, you know what? Let's compare them real quick. Yeah, definitely. I think the Merrows are tighter, or at least brighter. And that could be because the modern was designed with higher output voices, or it could be that these strings haven't been changed in quite some time. You know what? I'm actually curious now. Let's see compared to the Adler set. Sorry, my bad, got distracted. This is just one of those guitars that I forget how much I love it every time I play it. Alright, so it's close. I think the Adler set is still my favorite though. Like there's this warm, raw element of unpredictability. Yeah, I need to put this away so we can finish this video. Alright, so I guess now it's time to compare the original Duncan sOlArs to these new Keith Merrows. Now, I did change the strings from 10s to my preferred clear tone 9s, so now it's half a step higher in regular drop D. So just bear that in mind as we run through the tone samples. So I'd say this is a fairly successful mod project because, well, everything actually works, and also I'm even happier with this guitar now than I was before. I mean, I've always loved the Swamp Ash body and thought playability-wise, this is one of the best in the world when it comes to modern SiNgLeCuts. Like, I've never considered selling it. Really, only the stock bridge pickup wasn't my cup of tea. Legend has it that the Duncan sOlAr bridge is an import based on the Seymour Duncan Custom 5, which is a strange pickup to my ear as well. I actually prefer the Duncan sOlAr to the Custom 5, but either way, I wanted a different sound. I'm super into the Fluence stuff, and now this is like a perfect combination of playability and tones that I'm looking for. And as I said, this was the first iteration of the Keith Merrow set. On the new ones, all the pole pieces are the same. On these ones, you can see they don't all match. Tonally, the two iterations are supposed to be identical, but apparently, in very specific situations, these would get a little bit of noise, whereas the new ones don't have that problem. Fishman stuff is usually quiet, and Ken didn't get into what situations exactly. He just mentioned they were very, very, very specific. So it's like, I don't know, when the humidity's 83.1%, your headstock is facing the North Star, Trump's tweeted something that actually makes sense, and Mars and Saturn are aligned all at the same time, you'll get some noise, and Keith Merrow was having none of that. And I like how Fishman is very quick to make the changes. Keith Merrow's a perfectionist, so rather than being like, well, they're out now, nothing we can do, they quickly released the second iteration, even though most people would probably never run into that specific noise problem. So they're objectively worse than the version you'd pick up at a retailer today, but they're also limited edition. It's all perspective. Depends on whether you're a glass half empty or a glass half full kind of guy. So that'll do it for this first episode of NOSTAlgufish. I hope you enjoyed it. I have some ideas for other guitars I want to go back and do little modifications on that don't warrant the full high integrity treatment. Yeah, let me know what you think. If you got any suggestions, what guitars you want to go back and revisit. As always, thanks so much for watching. You've been awesome, and I'll see you for the next video.